Nearly surrounded by the Atlantic, Nova Scotia is a province that boasts the most diverse range of landscapes. From the untamed coastal lowlands of the western shore to the mountainous highlands in the east, the endless sandy beaches of the south shoreline, to the rocky cliffline along the bay to the north. With its highest tides and its darkest skies, it's a land that has over 13,000 kilometers of coastline, meaning you're never more than an hour away from the ocean. First settled over 4 centuries ago, but home to the Mi'kmaq long before that, it's a land that is so rich in history. It's a bountiful land, rich dykelands and rolling farmlands, orchards and vineyards. But it's also a harsh and rustic land that doesn't tame easily. This summer, join us each week as we share the places we love most to explore. Some familiar and some not so well known, but all within a day's drive, and all worth coming to see. Welcome to our summer road trip series. One of my favorite ways to spend a Saturday morning is with a trip to the farmers market. We're so fortunate to have 2 wonderful markets, one at either end of the valley. But because the valley is a patchwork of orchards, vineyards, and rolling fields of various crops, there are farm stands in every little town. And dotted along every back road, there's a tiny shed or a table with a few baskets of what's currently abundant from someone's home garden, along with a few jars of homemade preserves and a cash box for running the honor system. The Wolfville Farmers Market sits at the top of the valley in the town of Wolfville, a bustling university town. The market is held year-round in an old warehouse and hosts over 50 vendors who offer a huge selection of locally grown produce and flowers, baked goods, as well as various artists with all of their unique pieces. There are also a number of fresh food stands where you can pick up a variety of different options, from authentic Indian curries to one of my favorites, a Montreal-style bagel from Slow Dough Bakery with lox, cream cheese, and an abundance of thinly sliced red onions, capers, and black pepper. From there, you could easily walk downtown. The town of Wolfville boasts many places to dine, many of them being in local wineries on the outskirts of town. There are also a few shops to pop into, including one of my favorites, Wily Lily. I love browsing all of the different bits of home decor and gifts, always new with each season. Right next door is the Real Scoop, where you can select a handmade ice cream and choose your mix-ins to create your own flavor. It's even served in a homemade waffle cone. My favorite was the chocolate with Dubai chocolate mixed in. There was no surprise there. Wolfville sits overlooking the Minas Basin, and the waterfront area has a number of different things to enjoy, including a trail along the dykelands, hammocks to enjoy while the tides fill the basin, and beautiful views of the red cliffs of Cape Blomidon in the distance. I also love wandering about the university campus for Acadia University. There are so many historic buildings to enjoy. I especially love it in autumn, when the trees in the grounds and all the ivy covering the old buildings are turning. Another favorite is the Harriet Irving Botanical Gardens, with its grand terrace and arched windows and the huge greenhouse in the back. It's such a beautiful place, and I always walk past the windows and see the rows of library tables and lamps and the armchairs full of students, and I just think how lovely it would be to just walk in on a rainy autumn day, tea in hand, and sit and read or write and enjoy the quiet. But a summer day is also lovely, with the bubbling water fountains and shady benches along the alleys and the trimmed hedges and the medicinal gardens. Being a more affluent historic town, there are a number of old grand homes to enjoy as you drive through, many of them now having been converted into bed and breakfasts. I always recommend the Taddingstone, as it's been lovely when we've stayed, and the Eggs Benedict is delicious. If you happen to be in town on any day besides a Saturday, not to worry. There are still a number of large market stands open daily and all within a minute of each other. I usually like Noggins, which has a more co-op feel to it and has many of the same offerings available from the same vendors at the market. There's also the Blomidon Nurseries right in town, which is a wonderful nursery and garden center to walk around and explore. Another thing I always have to do when I'm in the Wolfville area, though it's technically across the Dykelands and in Port Williams, is visit one of my favorite antique shops in Nova Scotia. In fact, it just might be my most favorite. Country Barn Antiques is located on the main street, though it's easily missed as it's quite overgrown. It's utterly unsuspecting from the outside, as it is literally a barn. But when you step through the door, you're stepping into something that seems like it's straight out of a novel. The problem is you're not entirely sure of which genre. It's a barn so full, with such a variety of things to take in, you would literally need hours to see everything. Unless you're tempted to think it's the same stock that's been sitting for decades, you'd be mistaken. Somehow things are always different each time I visit. It borders on hoarding and requires considerable effort to duck in and out of the different floors, mindful to not hit your head on any of the beams, and always leaves you a little wary of the creaky floorboards, never quite sure if you'll find yourself a floor below quicker than you anticipated. I believe there are technically 5 floors, so I can guarantee you won't leave empty-handed. Things are usually heavily discounted at the end of summer, and I love that the owner is happy to barter, especially when you put together a tidy little pile of treasures. Now, I mentioned that there are a number of popular dining spots in town, but the truth is we've never really tried many, so I'm not sure what to recommend. So I'll tell you what we always do instead, and I'm fairly confident you might just agree it's the best spot in town. We pack a picnic, this time just charcuterie bits to nibble on, as well as a thermos of tea, a bottle of local rosé kombucha, which is a lovely option if you don't drink, and a blanket and sweater as it gets cooler in the late summer evenings. Then we cross over the Dykelands, wind through the farmlands, and up the North Mountain to the Lookoff. I've shared this spot before. It's a beautiful vantage point where you can really see just how beautiful and vast the valley is. It's especially lovely at sunset, and it's the perfect place to spend the end of a wonderful day. Next week, we're popping back over to the South Shore to spend the morning in the colorful village of Lunenburg and the afternoon at one of our favorite beaches, Hurdles Beach.